Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. It's a video that you guys have all been waiting for and that you guys have been asking for a really long time. It's called hyperscalping. This is a very powerful method I've taught my previous students how to use in the past. That got them to 7 and 6 figures. Pretty much there's a very high chance that it won't go your way if you do it wrong. So I'm going to show you the do's and the don'ts between hyperscalping and then finally show you the actual method behind it all, right? So for this, CoinIggy does not offer the built-in software that parameters to, so we're going to be using TradingView instead of CoinIggy, right? So if you don't have TradingView, if you've never used it before, you can just go to Google and type it in. I always use TradingView, so it just comes up for me. If you don't have one, you can just make an account, no problem. And if you don't know how to navigate through this, you would just bring you to the home screen here and click chart. I already have my layout. If you don't, obviously you wouldn't have one if you haven't made one, so just click on chart. And it would then bring you to a screen that looks like this. Yours might look a little different. Yours might look white. I actually have a template for dark mode, right? So if you want this to look just like this, you would simply click, right click on the screen, go to prop or go to color theme, and you could choose light gray, whatever it is that you really like, right? Light looks like this, which kind of hurts my eyes, so I don't like using that. So I would prefer to use dark. Really cool stuff. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how it's all done. First thing we want to do is when it comes down to scalping, I would usually use the hour time frame to 45-minute time frame, but regular hyper scalping requires a lower time frame. That way you see the opportunity come up more. Okay, so what we want to do, let me just take this off. I can hide that. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do is we want to go to the indicator tab at the top, click on that, and then type in pivot, and it should say built-ins, and then you would then go pivot reversal strategy, not the extension one, the pivot reversal strategy. Click on that, and then a bunch of these things will come up, right? No worry, don't be confused or discouraged or anything. It's very simple. I'm going to guide you through everything step by step on how to use it, what to do, and what not to do. So when we add the indicator in, we want to hold our mouse over the kind of like a gear icon with the indicator listed at the top. If you don't see it, that just means that your thing is closed here. You would just drop down the column, scroll all the way to the format, the gear icon, click it. Everything is naturally set at default. The left and the right bars are 4 and 2. We want to go 10 and 10. On a 5-minute time frame, this gives us way more opportunity to find an entry and an exit point in the market. And that way, when you find that opportunity, you can act upon it very quickly. Okay, so when showing you guys exactly, let me close that. When showing you guys exactly how much percentage to aim for, there's a toolbar on the left side here, right? This is for crosshairs, how you want your mouse to be, dot, arrow, or eraser. You have your trend lines here that you can use. Go all the way down. Oops, take that off. Go all the way down. And it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The seventh one, there's a little arrow pointing at the side there. Click on that, and it'll give you kind of like a forecast, right? So we want to see how much percentage to aim for once you've executed the trade or beforehand, okay? So I'm on BTC to USD on a 5-minute time frame. The first thing we want to do is find an opportunity. Let's go back to the 1st of March, and I can do that by going on higher time frame, scrolling all the way back. And to tell where the date is, you see at the bottom here, it shows, on the crosshair, it shows the date. So right now we are on 2/21/2018. That's February 21st. We want to keep going until we find March. So right here, oh, and it says the month right there. So March, okay. Drop down to about a 5-minute time frame. Oh, it took us all the way back. Okay, so I guess we gotta keep scrolling. Fastest way to do this is zoom all the way out. And let's start from the 1st of March. Okay, so the 5th, it's not loading any more data. I don't know if my computer is just slow or what it is, but we'll start from the first opportunity we see to buy. So the first opportunity here, and we're trading again BTC to USD. After we fixed our parameters with the indicator, you would see this come up. It says pivot reverse. Pivot points, the way that they're formulated, calculate the major and minor support and resistance from the previous day, and it recalculates it, and it tells you exactly when it's going to reverse or continue going the current direction. In this case, we're using a reversal pivot point strategy, so we are actually telling ourselves that it's going to reverse, right? And then we're going to take for the opposite direction, right? You could use this indicator in confluence with other indicators that you might like using, stochastics, RSIs, whatever it may be, and you could use it to your advantage, okay? You could also, draw your support and resistance yourself, so you could kind of just confirm what the indicator is telling you even more. So the first opportunity we see is a buy opportunity. The blue is a buy, the red is a sell. You could customize these colors if you want it. If you want the buy to be green, you could do that. Very easy. You could just go back to the parameters and format, go to style, and change the colors, right? So here we see that an opportunity came to buy BTC to USD, right? We always want to aim for 0.2%, 0.5%, all the way to 1% maximum. The reason why I say that is because, yes, we're getting more opportunities, but the support and resistance is always weaker on lower time frames. That's why it gives us more opportunity, right? So it pretty much plants mostly minor, and then for a reinforced support and resistance, obviously you'll see that the trend goes up or down a lot more, and the indicator is spot on. It's crazy accurate, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works right now. So I'll maximize the screen here so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here we have a buy position. There's a little arrow that comes up, when the buy is here, right? So it tells you exactly where you should be entering, right? It's kind of hard to see. It's very faint, but the arrow is pointing this way. It's a blue arrow inside the green candle here, right? You would enter right here. Again, these candlesticks are only 5 minutes, so a move down this way, price doesn't really change that much, right? From here all the way down here is only 10 bucks, right? Not that big of a deal, but you always want to aim. Don't matter about the money. You also want to aim for zero point 0.2, 0.5 to 1%, right? If you see 0.2, I generally urge you guys to get out, take a profit. If you want to be a little bit more risky, go for 0.5 to a full percent. You're more than welcome to do so. Just be very aware and keep watching where the trend is going. Okay. So you would enter right here. Although the first signal that comes up wasn't the greatest, we would use the BTC or the USD to buy BTC, right? Right here. If you're already holding BTC and you have no USD to buy it with, then there's really nothing you could do besides just wait for a sell opportunity, because we know Bitcoin's going to just be going lower. Okay, so here's a sell opportunity right here. We would then sell the BTC to USD, right? And the USDT is just a virtual USD. It's called USD Tether. And it's pretty much just a safe haven, just because the price of USD does not move at all, right? It moves just very, 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 very slightly to nothing. Okay, so we would sell the BTC to USD here. It went all the way down, right? And then we would buy it again. We would use the USDT to buy Bitcoin again right here. You want to aim for about 2.2% to 0.5 to 1%, like we said. So how do we know, if you're bad at math or you don't feel like calculating it, it'll take too long? Automatically, you could determine where your 0.5% is, right? By going on a long position, right? There's long positions, there's short positions, right? We want to just be using these two. Long positions is when, they're just trading terminology. Long position is when you want it to go up, short is when you want it to go down, okay? So long position, we want to take a long on BTC, and we want to use the USDT to buy BTC. Click on that, and when you click inside this, it should say target 0.22%. You always want to look for the percentage inside the bracket. It always comes up. Everything else pretty much in here is irrelevant. Sorry, and you always want to aim for 0.2%. Now 0.2% from where we entered, which is here, is only about this candle. We know it went up more, but don't be greedy. Let's just say it went up about 0.7%, which is pretty good before it started going lower again. So you always want to get out 0.2 to 0.5 just to be safe, right? You're on a lower time frame. If we were to go on a higher time frame, then you would then aim for anywhere from 1 to 3%, but the opportunities would then take a lot longer to come up, right? So let's just say we won that trade there and we got out at about 0.2. So we got out at 0.2, which is around here. Awesome. We won the first trade. We're up 0.2%. Now here, we would then sell it back for USDT when we get the opportunity, right? Sell it back for USDT and just wait. So right here, we have another opportunity. And you would then buy right when you see it here. We're taking another long position. Put it there. And 0.2% would then be right here. Now, from this point, or I should say this point here, at 11 o'clock on the 5th of March, all the way to here is only been, what, about 7 hours or less. 5 hours, I would say, right? Around 5 to 7 hours. Not bad for about 4% or 0.4%, right? It went up massively. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. This is a secret that I've been meaning to show you guys for a really long time, and it's finally here. So I want you guys to start making a lot of money with this. So here again, we sell for USDT, no problem. Trend went all the way down, and we have another opportunity to buy. Let's see where 0.2% is. Boom, 0.2% would be right here. And then we would then sell it back for USDT when we get our 0.2%. So we're not waiting, right? So every time you make your 0.2%, guys, sell it back for USDT immediately because we know that USDT doesn't move and we'll wait for another buy opportunity, right? Or you could just wait until you see a sell opportunity come up. I wouldn't advise waiting for a sell opportunity to come up. When you sell, I would just advise you aim for 0.2%, sell it back for USDT right away, okay? So let's look for another buy opportunity here. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy good indicator. Very, very, very accurate. And it's only accurate just because my specific parameters I put in it, right? I've been back testing this for a really long time. I've made a lot of money with this. And this is called hyper scalping. There's a difference between hyper scalping and regular scalping. Hyper scalping is getting in and out as fast as possible. And the good thing is we're only looking at one pair. You could do BTC to Ethereum, Ethereum to USDT, Ethereum to EOS, EOS to BTC, Litecoin to BTC, whatever it is you really prefer, and always aim for that 0.2%. Okay. Let's look for another buy opportunity right here. Let's aim for 0.2% again. Boom, 0.2%. There we have it. Sell it back when you get your 0.2%. Now, what's a scenario when you want to aim for 0.2%, but it doesn't go 0.2%? It'll give you a major and minor resistance area. Let's just say some news comes out and it goes opposite direction. You want to get out. If you're still holding BTC, you want to get out when it goes lower than 3%, right? You want to get out just to make sure we know that the trend is going to be continuing, right? So we want to be safe. We want to exit at about 0.3%. If you're just holding Bitcoin to hold it, you really don't need to worry. Aim for about 0.2% every single time. You're buying and selling, right? There's an opportunity there. Wow, this went up pretty high. Let's see how high this actually went. Okay. Wow, this went up 2.8%. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. So we would exit at 0.2% here, right? And we want to do that every time, 0.2 to 0.5%, every single time. 0.2 to 0.5, every single time. So we see here that, it's really, here's an opportunity here, right? Now, it didn't, like I said before, it didn't go 0.2%. It didn't go as close as 0.2%. So what do, right? When you're holding Bitcoin, obviously we know Bitcoin is just going to go up eventually. So you can either just keep holding on to your Bitcoin, no problem, and wait for it to go back up, right? Or you could just sell back for USDT and wait for another lower opportunity, right? Enter here. 0.2% would be right there, right? This is called hyper scalping, guys. Be very, very careful with it. Don't overtrade. I would say in a full day, if you were just doing scalping all day, aim for about 1% total account growth. And then the next day. So that's 30% in the whole month that you could be scalping, right? Hyper scalping. So let's look at another pair. Let's look at Ethereum to USD, right? Let's start from here. So here we have it. .2%. Awesome. Get out. You would have already sold it for USDT once you've gotten out. But if you wanted to stay in, right, you could then sell it for USDT here. But really, guys, I really, really just want you to sell it back for USDT once you've made your 0.2 to 0.5%. Right? There's an opportunity here. You would then buy it here, but it went down right away, right? Now, how much did it go down? When should we have exited? We want to exit at 3%. Maximum 3%. Okay? So it didn't even go down to about 3%. It went down to a maximum of 2.6%, but then immediately reversed. So you wouldn't even lost this trade. You would have just been holding for a little bit longer, and then your 0.2% would have been somewhere in this area here. And then as soon as you get that, sell back for USD. Right? 2% there. Didn't hit 2% here. But we want to exit lower than 3%. Didn't even hit 3% here. And you would wait for 0.2% when you get the chance. Oh, actually, it did hit our 2%. Oh, okay. So it did hit our 2%. So you would have sold for USDT right here. So we didn't even lose that. So never mind, guys. And then again, but another buy opportunity, 2.2%, 0.2%, 0.2%, so on and so forth, guys. You could rinse and repeat that all day, any pair you want. Really, really back test. I might not know what coins you guys are going after. You guys might be going after a coin that I haven't even heard of that you're holding to see how it's doing. Really look at the chart. If the candles are choppy and they're just really, really long candlesticks, you do not want to trade that market because that coin is really volatile, right? You want to trade the well-known coins, right? Ethereum, Bitcoin, LTC, possibly Neo, EOS, whatever that is pretty much mainstream that everyone has. Cardano, Monero, a lot of the coins that is mainstream, right? So that was hyper scalping, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, hop on the webinar with me. I'll clear anything up, and eventually we'll start live trading together. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video again. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys on the next webinar.